Okay, good. Or bad? I don't know. I'm just confused. People call me dad, people call me uncle. I don't know what I am. Alright, let's see. So, I'll go ahead and quote. Yeah, I'm live now. I'll say on AniLive, also being restreamed. Still getting used to this new keyboard that I have. Much smaller than my old one. So there we are. Your eyes in this car is really pretty. Actually, it's funny that you mentioned that. So, well, first of all, thank you. But it's funny that you mentioned that because it's actually a bit of a pet peeve of mine when people mention my eyes. Not that it's a problem here at all. I've actually been wanting to tell this story for a while. Because I do know. What you're seeing now is, of course, a model. You're seeing me through the phone. But I do have blue eyes, IRL. And apparently they've been described as being very, very pretty. Now, they're apparently pretty enough that strangers like to come up and compliment me on them. I am a very anxious person. I do not like talking to strangers. And so, now I've had so many situations of strangers coming up to me and like, oh my goodness, your eyes are so pretty. I wish I had your eyelashes. Are those natural? I'm just like, please go away. I don't want to talk to you. So I'd just be like, oh, thank you, and just try to get out of there right away. That being true. You know what? Thank you. Right now I'm feeling generous. I won't back away from this. No, but thank you. I actually had one situation where it was a girl who I knew that, this was back I was at at university, and there's this girl who a friend of mine had a really big crush on, and we were like turning some stuff in for a class. It was like a music class, and we were giving our instruments back to the teacher at the end of the semester. And I remember this girl and we ended up staying behind and chatting a little bit. And Arte Iris, welcome on in, welcome. I'm just telling a little story that I've been wanting to tell for a while now, actually. And I figured I'll give some people, a little bit more time if they want to join. And, I finally get to tell this story. So yes, there I was talking to this girl, and I was like, I've got some time to kill. And I'm like, I'll just hang out with her. So, a few minutes passed, I'm like, okay, I should probably head out. And she's like, oh, okay, yeah. So then I realized that we start walking in the same direction. She's like, oh, actually, I'm gonna go study. I've got this really great study spot. Do you want to maybe join me there? Maybe you can walk me there. I was like, fine. This is a nice talk, I suppose. And so we start walking through our university, and we go to the main building, and I noticed that we're just going up all the stairs, and she hits me with the, oh, actually the place is on the roof. We're going on the rooftop. And I'm still not thinking anything of it. I'm like, oh, this is fine. And then it's not until we're about halfway up the stairs to get to the final, to actually get to the roof, the little door that leads to the roof. And she hits me with the, I never noticed it before, but your eyes are really pretty. And I'm like, oh, it all clicked what was happening. Oh, this girl is leading me to the rooftop for some, studying. And I was like, nope, I gotta get out of here. So literally, she, we opened up the door, and I was like, okay, have fun studying, bye. And I went down the stairs immediately. I didn't even give her a chance to say bye or anything. Because I was not interested in this girl in the first place, but even then I knew that you know, very good friend of mine had a really big crush on her as well, and I was like, nope, I can't do this, I cannot be here. Like, oh, that's, whenever I think of times with my eyes, that's the story that always comes to mind now. But even then, I've just had multiple strangers. Like, there was once upon a time where I worked with customers a lot, you know, I would take people's orders at a place that I worked at, and so many times I'd just be taking someone's order, and then they would just go like, oh, you've got really nice eyes, you know that? And it's like, I'm in a professional setting, I just want to take your order and go on to the next person, and you're making it awkward. It's like, that's the thing, you should never like hit on somebody who's like working a cashier or behind a counter or anything, because they can't really, like, they're not in a position to really tell you that they're uncomfortable, and they can't really leave that conversation, right? They're forced to be there, essentially. So just remember that's a professional exchange. Anyways, that's my side little rant. That's my trauma dumping. Long story short, that's why people mentioning my eyes is actually my biggest pet peeve. Because it reminds me of all those experiences. That said, thank you. So without further ado, I suppose we'll actually do what we're here to do today, and that is build a few more Nexus members as, you know, D&D builds. Something I had a lot of fun with last time. Ended up going much slower than I thought it would, but honestly, that just means I can do this more often, you know? It means that I'm not just gonna get like 2 streams out of it, I can actually get like, probably like 4 or 5. Thank you for the follow, thank you. And so, do we have any requests on who I should make first today? So last time I made myself, I made Charlie, and I made Taryn. And I am only making the Nebulink members for now. Maybe I'll make Genesis members in the future. But for now, it's just Nebulink. You know, I was looking at Vera in, you know, whenever I made the thumbnail. I think for sure I want to try making Vera today. We'll see. Yeah, we'll go ahead and start with Vera. Drawing. Okay, so what we're doing here today actually is we are making the Nexus class Nebulink members as if I were going to play them in Dungeons and Dragons and the tabletop RPG. And so it's like, oh, what class would they be? What skills would I take? You know, if they're a spellcaster, what spells would I take? It's just me being like a nerd and engaging in my hyperfixation. Don't mind me. So yeah, that's what we're doing here today. And so let's see. And also, I do want to go ahead and, you know, shill for the background music and the background sound that we're using today. This is a YouTube channel called Blue Turtle. They make all kinds of like fantasy music and ambiance like videos for inspiration. I have this guy's videos on non-stop whenever I'm making D&D stuff, and that's why today I was like, you know what, I'll break that out. It just like, this is my natural habitat whenever I'm sitting at my computer working on D&D. Just whether it be I'm making a character for a one-shot I'm going to be a part of, or if I'm, you know, planning out my next session for my players. So, we're going to go ahead and start with Miss Vera Avant-Garde. It's 2 a.m. Oh, yes, goodness. Please, get some sleep. Get some sleep. Speaking of getting some sleep, I see that Ochu just joined in. My goodness. You guys coming in here whenever it's 2 a.m., 4 a.m. My goodness. Yes, you have a nice night, Ash the Smash. But yes, welcome on in, Ochu. Welcome, welcome. How am I doing? I'm doing well. I'm doing well. We're just actually about to start the proper stream. I'm going to be making Miss Vera Avant-Garde in Dungeons and Dragons if I were to play her as a D&D character. Oh, and I see we've also got Rose joining in. Welcome on in, Rose. Welcome, welcome. It's nice to have you here. I'm gonna stop explaining the stream whenever anybody joins. You read the thumbnail, you read the name of the stream. We're doing D&D. And we're starting today with Miss Vera Avantgarde. So for her race, just like everybody else so far, we're going to go ahead and make her a variant human, which means that we are going to get to pick a feat, we're going to get to pick a skill for her to be proficient in, and then we also get to have a +1 to 2 different stats. Nano, welcome on in, welcome. Right now we're starting with making Vera as a D&D character. And so, now that we've picked out her race, her class, so she's obviously a martial. Thank you for the gift, Nano, thank you. It's a good thing to do, but yeah, I already read the title on your post. By that, I'm here to say hi and get scolded to sleep. Haha! You know exactly what you're doing. You know you're coming in here just to get scolded. You know what? For the rest of the stream, I will not mention that you need sleep. You are a grown person who can make your own decisions. So if you're deciding to be up at almost 5 a.m., that's on you. But yeah, so for Vera, she's definitely some kind of martial. And I don't really take her as a barbarian at all. Because she does use, like, you know, her fists, I'm immediately interested in making her a monk. Though there's nothing necessarily saying that a fighter can't also be an unarmed fighter. So why don't we go ahead and actually look at monk versus fighter? Because like all of the other martials, they just don't work. So let's look at monks and fighters and decide what we think is a better fit for Vera. So, Vera, let's see, so monk, you get unarmored defense, they get their martial arts, which allows you to do more unarmed, like, strike stuff, you get ki. This is the big thing. Do we actually think that Vera would have, like, ki and would have anything like that? Because I'm tempted to say no. If she does, then she would definitely, if there's any monk that she would be a Way of the Open Hand monk. And so, because that's all about just, you know, fisting people, right? So I think that's the way to go if we want to go monk. You think open hand monk? Here, let's look at fighter, but I think you're probably see, I just don't know, because her only superpower is supposed to be like big hand, right? So let me actually see what fighter is going to be giving us. So fighter, let's see. They can get their fighting style, which does include unarmed fighting, which that's a pretty good, you know, that would be really, really great for her. Action surge, second wind. I think it comes down to whether or not there's a good subclass. Let's see, Battlemaster Fighter, maybe? Battlemaster Fighter would allow her to have, like, certain, like, techniques without having to get into, like, ki. Let's see, what about Champion Fighter? Champion Fighter just kind of sucks and I'd feel bad. She gone? Well, it's also possible she's lurking. That's something I've noticed about AniLive is if somebody doesn't have the application like all the way up on their screen, then it doesn't show them up top. Yeah, exactly. See, Nano's lurking. It's just one of the quirks of AniLive. There's quite a few of those. That's just one of the ones I picked up on. So even if there's nobody here in chat, I can at least pretend like there's people lurking. That's what gets me through the day. Haha. No, I kid. Yeah, I actually think I am gonna go with fighter. just because I think that it makes, like, the abilities make more sense and feel more Vera. Like, it's not, like, the, like, unarmed attack class, but I still think it would do really, really well for her. And she would definitely be a Battle Master fighter, so that way we can get some combat maneuvers. So then we're gonna go all 5 levels into Battle Master fighter. Or what we could do, theoretically. No, I think this is the best. I think this is the best option we have. So then let's pick out what her feat would be. So let's look up feats. Rub, welcome on in. Welcome. I just like cute things like the beard Osian has. Is my little chin, like, yeah, is that little thing, is this cute? Little ribbon on the hat. I heard somebody once describe it as, it looks like I'm wearing a propeller hat. Is that true? Does it look like I've got a propeller hat? Oh my goodness. I don't really think that cute's the vibe I'm going for, but honestly, to each their own. If I'm cute to you, then no. I can be your little kawaii anime boy. Boku wa kawaii desu ne? I'm sorry. End me. Anyways, so I'm looking at the feats, and one that immediately comes to mind is Crusher. Crusher would be a really good feat. Increase your strength and constitution to act like by 1. Once per turn, when you hit a creature with an attack that deals bludgeoning damage, you can move it 5 feet to an unoccupied space, provided the creature is no more than one size larger than you. When you score a critical hit that deals bludgeoning damage to a creature, attack rolls against that creature are made with advantage until the start of your next turn. Okay, so that last part's kind of bad. It would kind of be synergetic with Champion Fighter, though, if I wanted to go that route instead of Battle Master. I don't think that's what we do. Let's see, what are the other options? Yeah, we don't care about that. There is... where was it? We could also do... why am I not finding it anywhere? Yeah, we could do Tavern Brawler or Grappler are also good options. Well, Tavern Brawler just sucks though, so we're gonna look at Grappler instead. Well, cause like, Vera likes grabbing people, right? You have advantage on attack rolls against the creature you are grappling. You can use your action to try to pin a creature grappled by you. To do so, make another grapple check. You succeed. You and the creature are both restrained until the grapple ends. Well, hold on. Does Tavern Brawler allow you to grapple with your bonus action? Because if so, this is the way to go. This is the way to go. You'll be lurking. Good luck. Thank you. You know, feel free to lurk. Feel free to step away, go somewhere else. It's totally fine. So even though Tavern Brawler really isn't that great for the most part, because of our class, we don't really have much to do with our... yeah, we really don't have that much to actually do with our bonus action. And so we could pick up Tavern Brawler and Grappler, those feats, and I think we'd be pretty set actually. And so pick up, because this would allow us, because we'd be a 5th level fighter, we could make 2 attacks. So we could attack and then use our bonus action to grapple the target, and then because now they're grappled, we have advantage on our next attack. Oh, you know, if we were a higher level, then I actually would maybe suggest going with Champion Fighter and then picking up the Crusher feat. But we're not that high of a level. Here, let's actually look at what Battle Master gives us, because we might go with Champion anyways. Yeah, a lot of these require, like, weapons. Oh, no, not all of them, though. Well, because typically also weapons include unarmed, like unarmed strikes. I think the only thing in the game that you can't use your fists for is actually Divine Smite from a Paladin. So I think we're good to... Oh, you know what? Hold on. I'm seeing Grappling Strike is... Yeah, Grappling Strike is a Battle Master maneuver. And so that kind of makes Tavern Brawler redundant and allows us to pick up Crusher instead. So I think we are going to go ahead and pick up Crusher and Grappler as our feats. And then we'll take Grappling Strike as one of our... Yeah, take that as one of our battle maneuvers. Okay, so we picked out our 2 feats. We've also got to pick out a background real quick before we get into the real nitty-gritty of everything. And so... Let's see... Backgrounds... Oh, Folk Hero. It's got to be Folk Hero, let's be honest. Which gives us animal handling and survival for our skill proficiencies. Alright. So now that we've got that, we can go ahead and pick out our stats. And so standard array is 15, 14, 13, 12, 10, 8. So obviously Vera's got that 15 strength. Then as a hero, definitely got that 14 constitution. And then... Outside of that though, what direction do we want to go for Miss Avant-Garde? Maybe we want to go with... So we've got... Dexterity, charisma. Oh, there's a lot of charisma actually, and Miss Avant-Garde, she's a hero. She's got to be able to like stand out. And so I actually think we're gonna go with 13 charisma, maybe 12 dexterity, 10 wisdom, and then we're gonna dump intelligence. It's okay, Vera. We don't mean it. We promise you're smart. It's just everybody needs a dumb stat. Alright, so now we know for our skills, we've got animal handling and survival. Then we definitely need athletics, for sure. So let's see. Where's the fighter? There they are. So let's see what all the skills are to make sure there's not one that is obvious that we're not seeing. Yeah, I'd say definitely athletics and acrobatics. And then really any other skill of our choice. And so I think, honestly, I'm tempted to say either perception or insight. Actually, no, intimidation. We're gonna go ahead and pick up intimidation as the last one. Because Vera, you know, she's got her power stance. You know, she has that ability to intimidate people. So, those are gonna be our skills. And then... Oops. Let's see. I think with that, oh right, so then we know that from the Crusher feat, I believe, we get to pick out either our strength or constitution in order to increase by 1. So we're going to go ahead and increase our strength, and then from being a variant human, we've got 2 points that we can spend. And so we're going to go ahead and put both of them into strength as well. Welcome on in, Professor Frost. Welcome, welcome. Right now, we're flying through Vera, making Vera in D&D. So that's gonna put us at 18 strength, which is really good for a level 5 character. And then, let's see. What all do we have to choose? So fighting style. Obviously, for the fighting style, we need to choose unarmed fighting. And then second wind, we get action surge. Alright, so the last thing that we need to choose are her battle maneuvers from being a battle master fighter. So that means we're going to pick out 3 maneuvers. So for the maneuvers, an obvious one is grappling strike. And then I really want to do menacing attack because I know that's what Vera would want. Would want the ability to like frighten people around her, like do the power stance. Dawn, welcome on in, welcome. Right now we're finishing up making Vera in D&D real quick. So let's see, the last maneuver that we want. Honestly, maybe like disarming attack. I think disarming attack is very, you know, she just like swipes something out of your hand. But then also like sweeping attack makes a lot of sense. Trip attack. Some really good options. Lunging. Wow, why are there so many good options? I actually like lunging attack for the reason that maybe you could flavor it as being able to like swipe, because it allows you to attack from further away with your fist. So maybe you could be flavored as her like increasing her fist size and attacking from further away. Night Star Moon, welcome on in, welcome. Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna go with as the last one. We're gonna go with lunging attack. Now, let me reread menacing attack. When you hit a creature with a weapon attack, you expend 1 superiority die to attempt to frighten the target. You add the superiority die to the attack's damage roll, and the target must make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, it is frightened of you until the end of your next turn. Ah, Trix, welcome on in. Welcome, welcome. Hopefully you've rested up well after your debut earlier. You did fantastic, by the way. Like, that was so good. And I'm glad to have you here. You're exhausted? No, I completely get that. Because I remember, you know, I had my 30-minute debut, but then I had my collab stream with Hikari, Menon, and Momo immediately after, and that was like 2 hours. So like streaming 2.5 hours after not having streamed for a long time, that was rough. So I completely understand. I hope you didn't crash on your bike behind me to escape from the city. You know, actually I did crash on my bike yesterday. I don't think I mentioned that anywhere at all. I was on my way to my everyday detective duties. And I had a little slip up on my bike and I hurt my hand a little bit, but it's okay. It's okay. No, literally, I was just like, oh, my hand's bleeding? I don't particularly care, and I just rode my bike to my detective duties anyways. I got there, I was just like, hey, I'm gonna take a moment to just clean this up if you don't mind, and then I'll get to solving this case. Just everyday things, you know? Huh. It's okay, it'll be healed in a few days. It's just added to the rest of the scars on my hand. It's always my left hand. Anytime I fall on my bike, I always happen to catch myself with my left hand. And so I'm just like accumulating a little like graveyard of dead skin at this point on my left hand. It's just like I can see all the memories. But I'm enjoying. Yeah, no, that was really, really good. And you're a really good singer, by the way. Like, genuinely, you are. Now, I didn't know a lot of the songs, admittedly. But, you know, the songs that I did know, and even some of the ones that I didn't know, I was vibing alongside you. Yes, let's see. Maybe instead of menacing attack, we actually give Vera, we give her commanding presence. Because that would allow her to make a really good intimidation roll. I think that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna actually give her commanding presence. And so with that, I think we're already done deciding everything that we need to for Vera. Next up is a re-audition and rest. You know, definitely re-audition whenever you're comfortable, you know? Whenever you feel like you're ready. For now though, definitely take some time to rest. So with Vera, we are actually already finished up. So for her, we've got, for the race, a variant human, just like all the other ones so far. For the class, here, you know, I'm gonna move this to the other screen, so that way I don't have to keep looking all the way over there. So, for her class, you might think that we would go monk, since that's the one that's typically associated with unarmed, like fighting. But we actually went ahead and went with Battle Master Fighter. Nanami, welcome on in, welcome, welcome. And so we're gonna be going with Battle Master Fighter for I thought you said Oshi. Hi, sorry. I was called Oshi earlier by Trix, and I was like, I didn't know what to do, and now I'm like hallucinating Oshi. Oshi works too. No, thank you, thank you. Yeah, so we went ahead and we made, because you are, stop, you flatter me. Thank you though, thank you, thank you. Sorry, you're getting me all giddy. So, we went with Battlemaster Fighter, because I figured that Vera didn't really seem like the kind of person to like manipulate ki and have like martial arts and everything. Rather, she seems more like the type to just like slap you, you know? Just like whack people. Saying louder. No, you go enjoy your food, Trix. So, for the background, we went with folk hero, because that's supposed to be like you're the hero of a local village or whatever, so that makes sense. Thank you, Trix. Thank you, thank you. So, for the feats, music a tad loud. Thank you for letting me know. There we go. Let me know if that's better. So for her stats, we've got 18 strength, 14 constitution, 13 charisma, 12 dexterity, 10 wisdom, and 8 intelligence, with skills in animal handling, survival, athletics, acrobatics, and intimidation, with the unarmed fighting style, and because of her battle maneuvers, which are commanding presence, grappling strike, and lunging attack, the way that she would actually end up playing out is that she can make 2 attacks a turn. She can also, essentially once per combat, get an additional turn whenever she needs it, an action surge. So that's whenever like she's coming in clutch as a hero. She's also got her second winch to keep herself afloat, to do like the thing that heroes do where they like, you know, like, oh, I'll persevere against evil or whatever. And so she can attack somebody and then use her bonus action to grapple. And so, you know, she can grab onto them. And then because she has the Crusher and Grappler feats, from Grappler she would have advantage against the person who she's grappling. And if she needs to, she can also push people away as she attacks. And because of the lunging attack battle maneuver, she's also able to attack from further away even though she's punching. So essentially what that means is that she can like enlarge her hand and attack from afar. So I think I did a good job of making her feel like somebody who can just go in and whack people, you know? Just like go wild with her hands. Alright, no more messing with you. Food time, have a good one. You too, Tricks, enjoy your food. Yes, I think that's very Vera in the build. And you know what, I suppose since we're already, you know, we already did one of the people on the thumbnail, why don't we go ahead and actually do somebody else on the thumbnail? Who do you guys think I should do next? Should I make Silas or should I make Yaya next? I'm really down to make either one. Silas? Alright, then I suppose we'll be making our very own fate dealer, Silas. I think he's going to be an interesting one, actually, because we have to really think about what he does, what his lore is, and how we could actually, like, show that. So I'm going to go ahead and take a little drink of my drink that I've got here. So everybody make sure you're staying hydrated. I mean, this isn't water that I have, but you know, even still, make sure you're staying hydrated. He's a cool dude. He likes rhythm games, makes me feel right at home. I really enjoy talking with Silas. It's very, like, very, very comfortable. There's been a lot of times where he and I will just be in a late night, like, Discord VC, and we'll just vibe together. He'll stream whatever rhythm game he's playing, and we'll just talk about our interests. It's really nice. And you know, it occurred to me that, you know, we keep hyping up and talking about how much Nebulink gets along, but we haven't been doing that many collabs, it feels like. And so I'm thinking probably not next week, but maybe like the week after, I want to do like what I'm going to call Collab Fest, where I want to see if I can collab with somebody different every single day. Just have a whole stream of collabs, or like a whole week of collab streams. I think that could be a lot of fun. I just have to see if people would actually be like interested in that, you know? And I do know I was just finally talking to, I was talking to Inaria Senpai, and we might be doing a collab stream next week, so stay tuned for that. She and I, we've been wanting to find a time to just like sit and like drink together, and I think we're finally gonna get to do that. Oh yeah, speaking of drinking, I'm gonna actually do that now. Water? No. Not water today. Please hydrate, it's too hot today. Hold on, let's see how hot it is where I am. Temperature at the detective office. It is currently, where I am right now, it is 105 different degrees today. Let's go. Hold on, what's the real feel though? Real feel. Well, actually, I'm seeing that this website says it's 103, but it's also got a real feel of 103. Yay. I love where I live. It's great, wonderful. Yes, so let's go ahead and make Silas AN. Once again, for the race, very, very boring, but we're going to be going with a variant human as the race, which immediately makes me think about, so we get our feat. I think there's a feat that allows you to cast magic through cards. It's like Cartomancer, right? Okay, so okay. I'm looking at this, and this does require that you have to be at least 4th level and be a spellcaster, which I was going to make him 5th level anyways. That means that we need Silas to be at least somewhat of a spellcaster, which I was already kind of planning on. You know, I don't really strike him as the kind of person to, like, use melee and, like, anything. Now, his whole thing has to deal with, like, fate, right? And so I wonder, maybe I'm thinking some kind of like cleric could potentially work. Let's look at the cleric subclasses and see if there's anything that feels kind of like fate. Wait, no, divination wizard. Wait, no, oh, hold on. I think he has to be a divination wizard because their whole shtick is looking into the future. Hold on, so let's go ahead and look. So I actually think that, no, is it weird to say that I don't see Silas as much of a wizard though? Is that like mean to say? Am I saying that he's not smart? I don't know. No, let's see. So from cleric, is there anything that's like all about? Because like clerics, they use their wisdom as their spell casting instead of their intelligence. And I think that's a lot more fitting of Silas personally. Now technically, clerics, you know, are often associated with like some sort of deity, but that doesn't necessarily have to be the case. Oh, you know what? I'm looking at Trickery Domain Cleric. Yeah, I feel like he should definitely be like a wisdom and dexterity build, mainly. Let's see. Knowledge Domain Cleric. See, but that's... See, I like the sound of Trickery Domain Cleric because he is, you know, he's a gambling man. He's supposed to be like a casino dealer. And I think being able to like cast his magic and like use it in a way that's like creating tricks and illusions and all of that, I think sounds really fitting. So I think we're gonna go ahead and make him a Trickery Domain Cleric. So let's see. So for his class, Trickery Domain Cleric. I'm going to sneeze. I'm gonna go ahead and mute. There we go. I'm glad I caught that before I actually sneezed. So we've got Trickery, no sneeze. I don't have an interesting sneeze, I assure you. You know what, if it happens again, I won't mute next time. How about that? So... I'll be the judge of that. You know what, sure thing, sure thing. So, for his actual, like, his first level... Oh, of course, he needs the lucky feat. Like, we need to give him the lucky feat. So, like, he gets a luck points that he can spend. This does mean that he'll only have a 17 in his wisdom, though. So he won't be built to, like, complete, like, power game levels. But honestly, I think that's fine. I think it's more fitting that he's got more abilities and, like, luck on his side. So I think we're going to go ahead and give him lucky and give him the Cartomancer feat for his background. Let's go ahead and take a little glance at the backgrounds again. Looking at something not entertainer. Let's see, what's one that has to do with like, oh, I don't even know which direction to go. So I don't want to, honestly, maybe even Charlatan. We've already used that for Charlie. But I think it fits because, wait, actually hold on. What about Hermit? Because he is supposed to be like a fate dealer who you come to like learn, or like learn your fate and all that. He's like a fortune teller almost. And so maybe we go with a Hermit actually. But no, but like, he doesn't come from a background of seclusion though. So maybe even like Acolyte? Because like he studies fate and everything. No, that doesn't feel right either though. Dawn, thank you for liking me, thank you. It is rewarded. You're living a difficult life before your destiny suddenly changed through a miraculous turn of good fortune. Perhaps the benevolent deity gave you precisely what you most desired. You may have stumbled across a deck of many things and drawn a card with a potent positive effect. Or maybe you inherited a modest fortune from a distant relative you didn't know you had. Regardless, you left the daily miseries of your old life. Yeah, you left the daily miseries of your old life behind in favor of a life of adventure and excitement. Your old debts have been paid, responsibilities you thought inescapable are behind you, and you suddenly possess rare and unusual skills unknown to ordinary folk. I like that because it is very much like, oh, I got lucky. And I also like this because the little feature is called Fortune's Favor. So I think we actually go with rewarded. So basically he's really lucky. Ha! Now actually what's interesting is that this is supposed to give you the lucky feat. And so technically that means we still have our racial feat that we can pick out, which means we can actually power game. Let's go! So now we can pick a different one and see if there's something that allows us to get our wisdom up to 18. An obvious choice is Elemental Adept. That would definitely, that would be easy. We could take Resilient and go with Resilient Wisdom. Oh, but that gives proficiency, not advantage, and we already have proficiency in Wisdom saving throws, so we actually can't do that. Looking through all of these, we've already got Cartomancer. None of those gifts. Keen Mind, maybe? He hasn't really, like... There's nothing he's done to make me think that he needs Keen Mind, though. Oh, Keen Mind increases your intelligence anyways, never mind. Observant, honestly, isn't a bad option for him. If we wanted to get as power gamey as possible, we would take either Fey Touched or Shadow Touched. Konku, welcome on in, welcome, welcome. And Shadow Touched would give him access to invisibility, and then he can also... Yeah, you know what? We're gonna take Shadow Touch so that way we can power game him as much as possible. I've decided that is the way to go. Well, but I feel like Fey Touch kind of goes more in line. Like the Fey always have like kind of a connection to fate and like fortune telling actually. So maybe Fey Touch is better. Plus, it allows him to learn an additional divination or enchantment spell, so we can pick out a new divination spell to learn. And with that, it means we can actually know our stats. And so, we definitely got 18 wisdom at this point. So now it's just a matter of finding out what his other stats are. 14 dexterity for sure. Dexterity is definitely the next highest. And then after that is probably... Probably intelligence actually. Which leaves like Constitution, Strength, and Charisma. I'm gonna put his Charisma as his next highest, and then we want him to be at least a little good, so we're gonna put Constitution, and then we're gonna make Strength his dumb stat because he doesn't need Strength at all. So there we are. So we've got 18 wisdom, 14 dexterity, 13 intelligence, 12 charisma, 10 constitution, and 8 strength. Now with that, we've got our skills coming up next. From being rewarded, what did we get? Insight and persuasion. Which we need insight for sure. Honestly, insight and persuasion are both fantastic ones for him. And then this cleric, let's see what cleric gives. 2 between history, insight, medicine, persuasion, and religion. So I would think that history definitely seems like one that we want him to have. We also definitely... Really, we have to decide, do we want him to have medicine or religion? And I actually think we go with religion just because it makes more sense for a cleric to have. Plus, like, he obviously knows some things about like the supernatural and about fate, right? So I think that makes sense. Alright, so there's that. gosh, he is so, like, power gamed. I'm not even gonna lie, you guys. Like, he's so strong for a level 5 character. So, then... he automatically gets access to Charm Person and Disguise Self. And then he gets, from Fate Touch, he gets Misty Step. And then a Divination spell of his choosing. So let's go ahead and look at some Divination spells. Let's see. Identify definitely seems like something he would have. It's not usually something he can learn as well, so that's not a bad idea at all. Can it really be any divination spell? Or does it have to be on a spell list? Yeah, it just has to be from one of those schools. Wow, that's really good actually. Yeah, so honestly, we could pick up like Identify. It's a really good spell he could get. What is this one? Gift of Alacrity? Oh, that's... yeah, no, we're not using that spell. Yeah, I think we go ahead and pick up Identify. Also, while I'm thinking about it, as a Fair Human, we get to pick one skill that he's proficient in, just for free, and he needs Sleight of Hand. Like, he is proficient in Sleight of Hand. That's just the truth. Alright. Now, as a cleric, it seems the rest of what we have to do is Rogue, welcome on in, welcome. It seems the last thing we have to do for Silas is actually pick out his spell list. Also, dude, this song's getting really intense all of a sudden. We'll take it, though. It's a vibe, it's a vibe. So let's see, how many... we would know 4 cantrips. And then... as a prepared caster, we can just pick any number of our spells. So how many spells would we have? No. Prepare number of cleric spells equal to your wisdom modifier, which is +4, plus your cleric level, which is 5. So we can prepare 9 spells. So we need 4 cantrips and 9 spells. So 4 is cantrips. An obvious one is guidance. No, for the other ones though. Let me read Thaumaturgy again. You manifest a minor wonder, a sign of supernatural power within range. You create one of the magical effects within range. Oh, while I'm thinking about it, we probably want to actually read what Cartomancer does to see what spell we get access to and how that affects. So we know Prestidigitation just from this. So prestidigitation. And then, oh, well, it seems like our background music has ended. So let's go ahead and do this one instead. And there we are. Goodness, on my side, I'm having a lot of issues with the background noise actually. Hold on. There we are. Now we're good. Sorry about that. I think let's see, let's compare thaumaturgy with prestidigitation, because if they're different enough, then I might be able to actually get both. I don't know that they're different enough to warrant getting both, actually. So we're gonna go ahead and pick 3 different ones. I like the idea of Toll the Dead and Spare Dying, since those both have to deal with like fate to me, and how like I kind of view them. Now we've got options between Light, Mending, Resistance, Sacred Flame, and Word of Radiance. Let's look at Word of Radiance. Not feeling that one actually. So I think we're gonna go ahead and go with Light, just because it's a pretty good, a universally good spell to have. Now we get 9 spells total to take. So these are always prepared first level spells. Now we've got, oh, and actually we might even have some extra stuff from being a Trickery Domain Cleric already. Probably should have checked that. I'm glad I did. Oh my goodness. Yes, I'm very glad I did. Because we've actually got a bunch more spells. We've got Mirror Image, Pass Without Trace, Blink, and Dispel Magic. Wow, we've got a lot of spells. We're about to have 9 more. So one that's, I think for sure, is Bless, because that allows him to like bring good fortune to the people around him. Detect Evil and Good. In fact, I like just him having the detect spells. So detect magic, detect poison and disease, guiding bolt, I like all of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is 5. So now 4 more. Ashiro, welcome on in, welcome. I see we've got, let's see, Calm Emotions definitely seems like a spell that Silas would have. Look at this augury, that's the one where, let's read this real quick. By casting gem inlaid sticks, rolling dragon bones, laying out ornate cards, or employing some other divining tool, you receive an omen. Oh, yeah, no, he needs augury for sure. Gotta go for now, gotta run and have a great rest of your stream. For sure. You know, thanks for stopping by as always, Don. Thank you. And thank you for the follow, Ashiro. Welcome on in, MB Witch. Cauldria. We'll go with Cauldria. Welcome on in. No, I think we mentioned MB Witch is what you want to go by. I think we've already had that talk. So, augury for sure is a spell that he would need because it's all about, like, divining. Borrowed knowledge also seems like a good option. Because you can like, I don't know, call upon, like, knowledge using his cards or whatever. I don't know how it works, I just know that it does. Ha! Zone of Truth. Would Silas... Actually, no, I feel like Silas would not have Zone of Truth. Oh, thank you for the gifts, Don. Thank you. You have a good day. Let's see. Let's look at the third level spells. We already have Dispel Magic. We don't have to worry about that. There's a spell called Incite Greed. Hold on. Why does that sound like something he would definitely have? Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and pick up Incite Greed as his last spell. So there we are. I think that's our spell list, which means I think Silas is done. It was rather simple. It was really just a matter of, you know, actually planning out his spells. But for him, I think that he would be a variant human, who would be a trickery domain cleric. His background would be rewarded, which gives him the lucky feat. He would also have the Fey Touched and Cartomancer feats. So what this means is that he is a naturally gifted magician who has some kind of touch with, like, the Feywild, and so that's how he has all of his, like, you know, fortune telling. That's why he's so gifted with all of his fate dealing. And then Cartomancer allows him to cast his magic through a deck of cards. And, you know, he can do, like, magical card tricks and everything. His skills, he's got Insight, Persuasion, History, Religion, and then most importantly, he's got Sleight of Hand for all those card tricks. He's got mostly, like, his stats are mostly in Wisdom, but pretty good Dexterity as well. And then a lot of his spells have to do with kind of assisting and, like, assisting his allies a lot and bringing them good fortune, while also, like, being able to, like, buff them, giving them ways to attack the enemies better, you know, more consistently. And then on enemies, he has a lot of, like, crowd control and things that can, like, manipulate how the enemies are actually, like, feeling. So that's why he's got Calm Emotions, Incite Greed, Charm Person. He's also got some out-of-combat utility with being able to detect stuff and use his magic to learn information. So I think that's pretty good for Silas. So now, why don't we go ahead and complete the trio of people who are in the thumbnail, and we'll finally do Yaya, Mr. Isia Kagamiya himself. We're gonna go ahead and take another drink real quick. So don't mind me, just gonna go ahead and have a little sip. Make sure you're all staying hydrated. It is very hot today, so it's definitely very important. Alright, so let's go ahead and make Yaya. So, big surprise here. Actually, you know what? Let's look. I feel like there might be a better race for Yaya than Variant Human. I was about to say, big surprise here, we're going Variant Human, but there might be a better one actually. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna be real. We're gonna stick with Variant Human. We're basically gonna use Variant Human for most people. Like some people we won't. Like I already know some people who will be using something else. And then Yaya is definitely some kind of rogue, right? Like he's gotta be a rogue. Some kind of like combat-based rogue subclass. Those are actually kind of rare, strangely enough. Rogues are usually like utility members of the party, like skill monkeys is what we'll call them. Though I do actually have an idea of like an interesting multi-class that we can maybe do for him. Let's see. Yeah, actually, I think we'll only be taking 2 levels in Rogue. I think the bigger thing is actually we want 3 levels in Fighter, and we might take the Samurai Fighter subclass. No, I'm reading this and I feel like there's some of the other later stuff is more fitting of Yaya, but since we're only making my 5th level character, I feel like it doesn't quite work. What about Way of Kensei Monk? It's a monk subclass all about using weapons. Monks of the Way of the Kensei train relentlessly with their weapons to the point that the weapon becomes like an extension of the body. Founded on a mastery of sword fighting, the tradition has expanded to include many different weapons. The Kensei sees a weapon much in the same way a calligrapher or a painter regards a pen or brush. Whatever the weapon... No, okay, but a monk rogue multiclass actually wouldn't work very well though. Hold on. Yeah, no, that wouldn't be very good. Yeah, so maybe we don't do that. Maybe we do try to stick with Rogue, actually. Which we could go with Assassin Rogue. Right, because he is a ninja. So that does make sense. We could maybe go... No, not Phantom Rogue. The name's kind of misleading. Let's actually read Swashbuckler real quick. No. Okay, I think it's kind of the basic option, but I think we might go with Assassin Rogue. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and go with Assassin Rogue. Or actually, hold on. This is kind of a weird, like, this is a weird one to throw out there. Maybe we go Hexblade Warlock. Hold on. 'Cause I feel like Yaya would have some power outside of just, like, some shadowy power outside of just being a sword fighter, you know? Yeah, I think we might pick up some levels in Hexblade. Maybe we could do a Hexblade sword-wielding warlock. That'd be interesting in a D&D campaign. Yeah, so actually, there's a subclass for warlock that's all about like fighting with a melee weapon. And it allows you to use your charisma instead of your dexterity. But Yaya would have really good dexterity though. Like, I feel like he would fight using his dexterity. Trying to decide, but I do think maybe a Hexblade Rogue multi-class could be really interesting, actually. Never got too far into the subclasses. Yeah, there's definitely a lot, and I know a lot of people, their experience is now, like, limited to, like, Baldur's Gate, and Hexblade Warlock does not make an appearance in that, and so, I feel like I've been seeing a lot of people get into D&D, but they still, like, only know the Baldur's Gate stuff, so they're like, oh, what is a, it's like, oh, Ranger, yeah, there's only like Gloomstalker, Beastmaster, and then, oh, where's like the Hunter Ranger? Because that's not even oh no, it is. Never mind. But I think they really, really changed it in Baldur's Gate. It's like, oh, what's a Horizon Walker Ranger? It's a Swarm Keeper. Yeah, I think we'll do like Assassin Rogue mixed with Hexblade Warlock, actually. Well, is Assassin the way to go, though? No, mostly 3rd edition? Oh, so 3rd edition or 3.5? Because if that's 3rd edition, then wow, like that's a while ago, and that's kind of a rare one, too. Wow, that's honestly much respect to you. As a longtime DM, yeah, that's something that only like even 3.5 is for hardcore fans, but like I think even a 3.5 fan would call a 3rd edition fan hardcore. I think we're gonna go with a Phantom Rogue and Hexblade Warlock multi-class, because this gives Yaya all kinds of abilities that interact with like spirits and like gives him like shadowy magic, while also still being like a melee-based fighter. Yeah, I think this is what we're gonna go with. And I wasn't expecting to spend so much time on him, but I mean, not that it's a problem, mind you. It's a lot of fun. So maybe we'll go with 4 levels in... Yeah, maybe we go with 4 levels in Phantom Rogue. And then we'll go with the 1 level in Hexblade Warlock, because that gives him Hex Warrior and Hexblade's Curse. Or, since we don't really benefit too much from Hexblade, actually, I'm looking at now maybe like Shadow Magic Sorcerer, like a Shadow Sorcerer. Oh, wait, this looks super cool actually. So, this would give him a feature called Eyes of the Dark, which gives him dark vision with a range of 120 feet, which he needs as a variant human. And then Strength of the Grave is another feature. Starting at first level, your existence in a twilight state between life and death makes you difficult to defeat. When damage reduces you to 0 hit points, you can make a charisma saving throw. On a success, you instead drop to 1 hit point. That's really interesting. We're gonna go ahead and give him a level in Shadow Sorcerer. And then now what we can do is give him the Shadow Touched feat as his background feat, which also implies that Sorcerer would be his first, right? Hold on. Let me see how Shadow Touch works. Because do you need to be a spellcaster to have Shadow Touch? I think you do. No, you don't. Wow. So we can power game him. So we're definitely taking Shadow Touched. And then let's pick out our background real quick. So we want something that's like studying to be a ninja. I need to be reminded what faceless is. Yeah, that's definitely not what we want. What is Haunted One could maybe work for Yaya, honestly. Let's look at some other ones though. Ruined. So I like the idea of Ruined because it says everything was going so well. You had a life of luxury, love, and comfort when you suddenly lost it all. And yada yada yada. It's all about having a lot and then having it get taken away. And I like that because Yaya, you know, he was studying to be a ninja and everything. And then he delved so deep into the arts that it like forced him into a position where like he enters like a demon world instead. Not the Sasuke character arc. Well, cause like, you know, Yaya, he's got like his tragic anime backstory that's like super deep and like it's like edgy, you know. I think this is really good for that. We'll lean into it, and that actually gives him the either alert, skilled, or tough feat. And I think We want alert. I think alert out of these feels the most yeah. And then because of this, now we have stealth and survival are two of his skills from being ruined. And then I have to look up the multi-classing rules again. Because we are... Oh, we don't actually get anything from going to sorcerer. Got it. Okay, so let's see. For our stats, we've got 15, 14, 13, 12, 10, 8. So we are going to go ahead. Let's think about this tactfully. We want to have as high a dexterity as possible. I think that's our top priority. And so we can definitely get up to 17 dexterity. But then from from the shadow touch feat that we're going to be getting. Eris, welcome on in, welcome. From the shadow touch feat, that makes it to where we have an additional +1 to put into something. And so we can put that into the 14. And that can be our charisma for Shadow Sorcerer. And then at 4th level Phantom Rogue, we can put a 1 into both Dexterity and Charisma each in order to get 18 Dexterity and 16 Charisma. And now we can just kind of go down the list. So I think we go Constitution next, then we go Wisdom, and then we go Intelligence. Then lastly, Strength. Now let's take a moment to look at the skills that rogues get. Also, once we finish Yaya, it's probably going to be when we wrap up. Unless I can think of anybody who'd be like really fast to get through. We'll probably just like chat for a little bit. So, let's look back at classes. Though we're going to be working on Yaya for a little bit longer, so I think it's fine actually. Has anyone joined in on Twitch and chat? Does not look like it. If you are in Twitch chat, feel free to talk. I will be checking every now and again. Will I be like doing so in a timely fashion? Probably not, to be real with you. Let's see, for Yaya, we definitely want acrobatics. We want deception. We want insight. We want performance. We want sleight of hand. Now, do we want... I feel like we do want perception now. So maybe we take perception instead of insight. Or maybe we... No, we do need deception. Alright, and then choose 2 of your skill proficiencies to get expertise in. So he's definitely expertise in stealth. Then I feel like he would have an expertise in maybe like deception. Yeah, we're gonna go with deception for the other one actually. Alright. Then do we have anything else to pick out? doesn't look like it in terms of rogue. But we do actually need... Ah, Teddy, welcome on in. Welcome, welcome. And Ocho, it looks like you're back. Welcome on back. So, I think that's it for the rogue levels that Yaya has. And so, let's actually go ahead and take a moment to look at Sorcerer. Here to give info. I'm going to sleep now. Alright, that's good, that's good. Get some rest. You know, you've got, if I'm not mistaken, you've got debut coming up very soon, so you want to be well rested, have a good sleep schedule for then, you know? But also question. Yeah? Of course, yeah. Ask me a question. Which, by the way, I think I already mentioned it, but you're also welcome to ask me questions anytime over, like, Twitter. Like, do not hesitate if you have any questions and you want to ask them, like, reach out to DMs. They should be available. Like, I think I have that setting on. Can I call you? How would that be pronounced? Osini? However it is, I'll go ahead and let you call me whatever you want to call me. It's up to you. Yes, let's see. So, you will know at my debut, so come. Yes, I will be sure to. Actually, let's make sure I'm going to be available for that, why don't we? Because I know it should be, I believe you're debuting this weekend, right? And part of me wants to say it'll be at like 6 PST or something. It's on Sunday. I should be available. Wait, this Sunday? It's 8 PST. Yeah, I can make that time. That's good. Because I think if it were earlier in the day, I actually wouldn't have been able to, this weekend in particular. But I'll be able to make that. Alright, so let's go ahead and pick out our sorcerer spells now for Yaya. Now, one thing's that are all very like ninjutsu-like. So, but I don't really want damaging stuff, you know? Oh, we also need to get our spells from Shadow Touched. So, we would have 4 cantrips and 2 spells, and then invisibility and another spell. You will go to sleep now. Thank you for the stream as always. I'm going to get some rest. Yes, you have a good night. You have a good night. And if I'm not mistaken, that's Indonesian that you're writing. I can't wait. You better speak some Indonesian during your debut. Like, while I don't understand any of the language myself, I think that it is a beautiful language. I love the way it just sounds. And so, you gotta do that. You gotta do that for me. I'll be, like, giddy, like, cheering in my, like, from my office when you do. Alright, you have a good night. So, we've got our invisibility spell. We've got, let's go ahead and pull up the Shadow Touch feat again. So I believe we get either a necromancy or illusion spell. Yep, that's right. So let's see. Let me see what Silent Image does again. Yeah, I feel like that's not really necessary. Let's look at some necromancy spells that he could learn. Ooh, cause fear, false life, and inflict wounds. Cause fear is pretty good. Inflict wounds is pretty good get to though. Oh, goodness. Though I do like the idea of giving him color spray because it could be like pocket sand. Ha! I mean, disguise self is also just like an obvious option, I think. But I want to see if there's anything that isn't already on the sorcerer spell list that we could get from here. Let's check color spray if that is. I think we will take color spray because I think it's the closest to some sort of like ninjutsu. Now we'll go ahead and pick out our 2 sorcerer spells, right? Yes, our 2 sorcerer spells. And if there's not enough, then we'll go ahead and pick up, we can replace color spray with something else. That is a lot of spells, oh my goodness. I think Feather Fall is just a really good spell in general. That he could really use. Oh, Fog Cloud. He needs Fog Cloud. So maybe instead of Feather Fall, we use Sleep. No, I think Feather Fall is better. And then 4 cantrips. We've got a lot of options. Mel, welcome on in. Welcome. Right now we are finishing up making Yaya, Mr. Izia Kagamiya himself in D&D, and he's going to be the last one we do. And thank you for the follow and the like. Thank you. So, Minor Illusion is definitely a cantrip that we want for him. You know, we need him to be able to, like, fool people, and, like, I think that's just something that screams, like, ninjutsu. So we'll get that. We'll do... either Booming Blade or Green Flame Blade. Green Flame Blade sounds like it just matches him. Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, I love him. He's really great, actually. I still remember the first time we spoke. It was like really late at night, and you know, he hadn't been very active on the Nebulink Discord server, but then one day, it was like me, somebody else, like we were just chilling in VC on our own, and then Yaya, he goes and joins for the first time. And I think it was the first time he had joined VC just at all in the server. And the other person ended up having to go, like not much later. Then Yaya and I, we just went and chatted for probably like 4 hours straight, just getting to know each other. Like that night, it's still like a magical memory for me, honestly. He's so funny, oh dude. He is the greatest shitposter of all of us. There's no doubt in my mind that him and Vera are both the greatest shitposters in Nebulink. He is so funny. He's fucking hilarious. I love him. Yes, to finish this up. Prestidigitation. Thank you for the gift. Thank you. Prestidigitation is a pretty good option. No, I feel like... but it's just, I don't know. It fits. Because I feel like I'm giving it to everybody, but it's just like, it works. It's just a good spell. Good cantrip. And then, for the last one, we already got him Green Flame Blade, but it might be a good idea, just from an actual gameplay perspective, to also give him Booming Blade. Zach Matthews, welcome on in, welcome. Yeah, so I think that's going to be our Yaya build, actually. I think I just finished it up. So, Yaya is a variant human for his race. He has 4 levels in Phantom Rogue and 1 level in Shadow Sorcerer. And so he's got all kinds of things that allow him to like be incredibly stealthy, attack from the shadows, and kill enemies in one fell strike, getting as much damage as possible from the shadows. And he can also interact with, and like is kind of in the state of life and death is how it's worded in the actual classes that I picked out. But the way I see it in his lore, he's supposed to be like, he went to the demon realm because he got so good at like ninjutsu and like stealth. And so I think that's very fitting. For his feats, we went ahead and picked Shadow Touched and Alert. So this allows him to be like incredibly fast in combat while also having access to invisibility and other like kind of magic spells. And so the other one that I picked out from Shadow Touched was Color Spray. So he's able to like blind people. So that's like, that's a classic ninjutsu attack, I feel. And then for his stats, we've got 18 Dexterity, 16 Charisma, 13 Constitution, 12 Wisdom, 8 Intelligence, or 10 Intelligence, and 8 Strength. For his skills, he has Survival, Acrobatics, Perception, Performance, and Sleight of Hand, and he has Expertise in Stealth and Deception. So that's what he's really good at. Then for his cantrips, he's got Minor Illusion, Prestidigitation, Green Flame Blade, Booming Blade. And for his spells, he has Invisibility, Color Spray, Featherfall, and Fog Cloud. So his spells are all things that allow him to like be incredibly stealthy and he's incredibly stealthy and able to alter his rogue abilities using magic rather than being like a magic caster where he's just like slinging spells, So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. We got 3 more done today. We did Vera, Silas, and Izia today. If Yaya heard this, he would be so proud. I do actually want to, I want to tell everybody, like each of them, like, what their build was and why I did it this way. Because I think like Vera would like how I made her a fighter instead of a monk. Because I think she and I both would agree that she's not the kind of person to do like martial arts. She's just the kind of person who's like, I have a big hand and I'm a whack-a-bitch. Huh. And so I think the way that I built her is a lot more conducive to that. No, I'm actually really proud of all these so far. And I want to make actual character sheets for these, like send them out. So maybe if you guys are ever like, I'm gonna do a D&D campaign, I could use this, for whatever reason I want to feel like I'm playing as Terran Shieldsong. Then, you could pull that up for whatever reason. But whenever I was actually making the visuals for the character sheet, I was using like resources online and just like plugging in everything, and I realized it didn't look very pretty. And so I might actually make a custom layout for the character sheets and then post them. Because, I want it to look good. And I'm not like doing all of the information, so it looked like there was like empty space on the character sheet, and I wasn't really happy with that. In fact, I might make them look a bit more like monster stat blocks, funnily enough. It's like, that's not how character sheets are supposed to look, but I think it would just look better in this format. So I'll look into that. Yes, I actually do think I'm going to go ahead and call it here. It's been a fun about 2 hours. But I've got a lot of work to do today. My goodness, I've been working till like 2 a.m. every day. I'm not even gonna lie, you guys. It's okay, because it's like, it's all a bunch of fun stuff. It's all like, I'm enjoying it a lot. But, oh, is it a lot of work. And so, you know, I wanna get a head start on that. So I'm gonna go ahead and call the stream here. But thank you all so much for, you know, watching, sticking around. It's been a pleasure as always, and I look forward to doing this again, you know, pretty soon here. This is now 6 members of Nebulink done, and so that's gonna be 10 more. And some of them, I have no idea what direction I'm gonna go. Like, Momoko, who knows how I'm gonna make a high school girl in D&D. Mixie, welcome on in. We're actually ending stream like right now, unfortunately. I was saying my goodbye right now, but I hope to catch you next time. Yes, thank you all so much for watching, you guys. Yes, oh, bye-bye. There'll be a next time, don't you worry, don't you worry. Yeah, for now though, let's call this case closed. I hope to see you next time, everyone. Goodbye.